Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Saturday Football Review for round 18 of the NRL. We saw three games today. We saw the Raiders defeat the Dragons 37 points to 8. What was it? 37 points to 8, I think it was. We saw the Titans defeat the Broncos 18 points to 6. And we just saw the Roosters, another classy performance, getting a big win over the Knights, 42 points to 12. Welcome to the Saturday Football Review. My name is Nick from Australia. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're currently at 656 subscribers, I believe. So the channel's going very well. So if you can subscribe to the channel, that would be much appreciated. Now let's get into the Saturday Football Review. So let's go back to the first game there where we saw the Raiders defeat the Dragons, 37 points to 8 down there at Wollongong. I think it was WIN Stadium. I'll start with the Raiders. I thought they were really good today. I thought they were pretty clinical in the second half. First half, they were a bit patchy. I thought the Dragons were okay in the first half. They were being a little bit competitive there. But in the second half, they just weren't able to handle the Canberra side, who were definitely way too good for the Red V this afternoon. But I was shining light for the Dragons. I thought Cody Ramsey had a really solid game. He scored 2 tries. The only tries the Dragons scored. Lomas missed 2 goals. And, it was good to see Cody Ramsey score 2 tries. His mum had an interview at halftime with Fox League with Hannah Hollis, and I thought that was a very good interview, and I thought that was good to see because you see the local footy, the mothers are always yelling out at local footy saying, "Come on, son," and all this. So, that was good to see Cody Ramsey for the Dragons. But the Raiders were really good. I thought Jack Whiten was outstanding. I thought Hudson Young was very good. I thought Joseph Tarpany was also very damaging. Papali only played about 38 minutes. Papali was rested, which I was pissed off about because if Papali had scored, I would have had about $680 up. But what can you do? That's what gambling does. Gamble responsibly. But well done to the Raiders. They're trying to get in that top 4. Parramatta are the team that would most likely fall out of the top 4 if anyone was to fall out. I think the Roosters will finish 3rd now, and it looks like Parramatta and Canberra will fight over that 4th spot along with maybe South Sydney. So, a lot of pressure on Parramatta now to maintain that 4th position, but the Raiders are coming for them. I thought they were really good today, the Raiders, in the second half. But, wasn't a bad first half. I think it was 14-8 at half time in favour of Canberra. The Dragons were going okay there, but they just weren't able to go the whole 80 with the Raiders. I thought Corey Norman was completely useless for the Dragons. Some of his decision-making and some of his ideas were just pathetic, so he was an absolute loser today. But well done to the Raiders on another solid win, a good bounce back from last week against the Roosters. So I'm going to give the Dragons' performance here a 3 out of 10. I thought they were poor in the second half, and they weren't good enough. And I'm going to give the Raiders' performance a solid 7 out of 10. And my top 3 on ground for this game, I'm going to go number 3, Joseph Tarpany. Number 2, Hudson Young. And number 1, my man of the match, it's going to go to Jack Whiten. I thought he was outstanding for the Raiders. Now let's move on to the second game that we saw at Cbus Super Stadium. The Titans defeating the Broncos 18 points to 6. It was a Queensland derby, and I'm going to be honest with you, it might be a bit of a surprise. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I thought it was a really boring game, personally. I wasn't inspired by the game. Both teams got nothing to play for. Broncos are trying to avoid the spoon, which I don't think they'll get the spoon anyway now because the Bulldogs won't win another game this year. The Titans can't make the finals. They're just playing for pride. Not much really to play for here. It was a bit of a dud game. Both sides were into each other, really. It wasn't the best game of football. I thought the Titans were a little bit better than the Broncos. The Broncos bombed a few tries. They bombed a couple over the line. Fafita bombed one. They bombed a couple of tries, the Broncos. I thought, what's his name? Corey Oates, he had an absolute shocker for Brisbane. I thought he was really poor. He was terrible. Sean O'Sullivan couldn't really get into the game that much. Tony Staggs was targeted. What's his name? Herbie Farnworth was all right for the Broncos. Not many shining lights for the Broncos tonight. Tom didn't try as hard every game, but he's only a rookie and you can't expect him to do it all on his own. I thought he tried hard, but wasn't able to get anything going his way. David Fifita was a little bit quiet for mine. As for the Gold Coast, I thought Jamal Fogarty was great. I thought Brimson was solid. I thought Jai Arrow off the bench was really good. I thought Moe Fotuaika had a really strong game. That both Fermor kid in the left back row for the Gold Coast wasn't too bad either, but Queensland Derby, both teams weren't fantastic. The Titans were okay without being brilliant. Broncos, just an absolute mess, as we all know. But yeah, I'm going to give the Broncos performance a 5 out of 10. Well, they tried hard, but I just couldn't find points. And I'm going to give the Gold Coast Titans performance here a 6 out of 10. My top 3 on ground for this game. Number 3 is going to go to Jai Arrow. Number 2 is going to go to Moe Fotuaika. And number 1, my man of the match, is going to go to Jamal Fogarty. Also, a quick mention to AJ Brimson. I thought he was really good in defence tonight as well. So, well done to the Gold Coast on a win. Now, let's go on to the last game. I'm going to stand over here, guys. My bloody hand is getting sore from holding this stupid phone because my freaking laptop's still getting repaired. So, who knows? I should get that back in the next 2 weeks or so. Let's go on to the last game. The Roosters 42, the Knights 12. The Knights were never a chance. Honestly, they had no one playing for them. Ponga was out. Barnett was out. But there's no excuses. You got to show up, regardless of who's in and who's out. You got to show up. And Newcastle, they're going to play finals footy this year. Yet they rest in Ponga, arguably the best forward this year, in Mitch Barnett. And they rest them against almost a full-strength Roosters side. I just don't understand it. I thought the Roosters were really good tonight. They were classy. They were clinical. They do what they do best at the SCG. They score 40-plus points. They were dominant tonight. And the Knights, for mine, really disappointing. They were down 24-0 early, and then they scored 2 quick tries to get it to 24-12, and they were starting to get on a bit of a run, the Knights. And then they tried before half-time for the Roosters, really sucked the life out of the Newcastle side, and they had no chance in the second half. They had no answers. 30-12 down at half-time. They could have been down by a bit more. The Roosters were a little bit off in the second half, but overall, it was a classy performance. Let's talk about some of the good players tonight. I thought Luke Keary was absolutely out of this world. I thought he was outstanding. I thought James Tedesco was really good. I thought Angus Crichton had a really good game at lock. Went in the back row for when Boyd Cordner went off injured. I'll get to Boyd Cordner in a little bit. I thought Sonny Bill Williams had a really strong game, played a fair bit of minutes tonight. Thought he was really good, Sonny Bill Williams. I'm not a big fan of Sonny Bill. Never really liked the bloke. I liked him back in 2004 when he was at the Bulldogs, but I've never really been much of a big fan of Sonny Bill. But, he's playing a pretty easy role at the Roosters. Just come on the field, play a little bit of lock, play a little bit of back row, a little bit of ball playing. He's got one of the easiest jobs that I've ever seen. So, all Sonny Bill's got to do is just run hard and make tackles, and his job is complete because of all the class players the Roosters have around them. So his job is easy. I thought he was really good tonight. And I thought Takiaho was really good as well. Now, back to the Boyd Cordner situation. Now, it's been a tough week for Boyd Cordner because one of his best mates passed away, so I hope that family is doing okay at the moment. I understand they would be very upset, and I do not blame them. And I hope Boyd Cordner is also doing okay. He looked really emotional. Before the game started, they had a minute of silence for the young lad who passed away, and Boyd Cordner was obviously very emotional, which was understandable. And as he was going for a try, unfortunately he knocked it on. He had another head knock, his 4th head knock in about 10 weeks. So, I'm really worried about Boyd Cordner and his head knocks. Maybe it's time he pulls out the Jonathan Thurston and gets a headgear. I don't know how much a headgear would protect Boyd Cordner. I know when I used to play footy, I used to wear a headgear, but when you get hit in the head so many times, it doesn't really help you that much personally. But I hope Boyd Cordner is okay. That's obviously a terrible thing to see the New South Wales and Australian captain go down injured. It's terrible to see that, but I hope Boyd Cordner bounces back from it and comes out the other side a much better player than he already is. But the Roosters were way too good tonight, and I just want to talk about this thing really quickly. I'm pretty cranky about this. The no try to Lindsay Collins when Nat Butcher played the ball. Now, let me just explain this to you guys who who just don't understand about the ruling on this. So Nat Butcher, right? He gets tackled and he plays the ball. The ball goes to Lindsay Collins. Nat Butcher plays the ball and Lindsay Collins runs over and scores a try. Can someone explain to me what is Nat Butcher supposed to do when he plays the fucking ball? He's just playing the ball. He's not in the way. He doesn't obstruct any Newcastle defenders. Go back and watch the no try. Newcastle players were around him. They could have made a tackle, but they were too lazy not to. They couldn't get to him. They were too lazy. The Roosters were already up by a big margin, so who gives a fuck? He was never going to get Lindsay Collins in the first place. Should have been a fucking try. There's no way in the world that was obstruction. That is a terrible decision. I don't care if the Roosters won 42-12 or if they won fucking 42-40. You can't tell me that is a no try. That was a fucking try every day of the week. So if I was Trent Robinson, I wouldn't complain about things too much, but the obstruction rule needs to be investigated. And as a matter of fact, the fucking bunker and the referees and the touch judges, they need to be investigated because they all look like a bunch of dumb cunts from the fucking Simpsons. It's like Homer Simpson pressing a stupid button, doesn't know what the fuck's right or wrong. It's fucking pathetic. The bunker and the referees, the touch judges are fucking statues. They're statues, but they're made by robots. They're just fucking pressing a button. I don't know what they're doing. And the referees, they're not sure what a penalty is. They stay down and like clutch at their neck and they go, penalty, even though they didn't see the fucking incident. So the referees need to be fucking looked at here. But well done to the Roosters on another clinical performance here tonight. I'm going to give the Newcastle Knights performance a 2 out of 10. They were really disappointing. I'm going to give the Roosters performance tonight a solid 8 out of 10. My top 3 on ground. Number 3 is going to go to Sonny Bill Williams. He was great. Number 2 is going to go to James Tedesco. And number 1 is going to go to the best 5'8" in the game in Luke Keary, setting up tries, scoring a double tonight. In my opinion, he was the best on the field and he is my man of the match. So anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. If you like this video, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Got a nice $79 multi up tonight on the footy, so I'm very pleased with that. I'm getting out of here, guys. If you liked it, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. I'm getting out of here. Thanks for watching. Have a great Saturday night, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Sunday football review. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.